What's up, everyone? Welcome back to some TitanCraft action. Today's episode, I wanted to go ahead and start off in one of the digging sites for part of the project. And I just felt like, you know what I haven't really done too much of this season? Just some good mindless digging. So that's what we're going to start off today with. Help out, they need to clear this entire area down to bedrock. So we're just see what we can knock out, maybe blast some music, do a time lapse, you know, all the fun stuff. See how sane we can stay by the end of this. I don't know, I grabbed like 9 shulker boxes. We'll probably put a little dent in here, but I don't expect to go too crazy. So why don't we just craft some mines or something? So, you know, I had a few thoughts while digging this trench out. The first one being, I feel like I'm digging my own grave, you know? Laying in here, looking up, being like, yep, this is what it's gonna feel like, I suppose. Second thought I had was, good lord, this hole is deep, and we're not even down to bedrock yet. We're still at 9, so we have another, what, 60-ish blocks to go before we hit bedrock, so essentially doubling this. But more practically, and I think something that we're going to go ahead and try and do a little extra work on, is I noticed that it takes a long time for when you're digging and then you pick up all the rocks and then you have to put the rocks somewhere, and then that just takes a lot of time. And then you have to empty your shulker boxes, and then you have to repair your pickaxes. So I thought it would be cool if we set up kind of down here towards the bottom, like maybe we finish digging this section out, or we just work on bringing the rest of them down to this level. But we set up like some water streams or something to push the items just into a hopper area, and then we could maybe try and design like a shulker box loader. I know how to build a shulker box unloader, so I can't imagine that a loader would be particularly difficult. Just that way you could be digging and then go over to the cliff and drop a bunch of rocks off. They'll go and get loaded into a shulker box, and then we can just deal with shulker boxes when we're ready. I think that would save a lot of time. I think it'd be a fun project too, so why don't we jump over to a redstone testing world and see what we can patch together. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. Basically what we want to do, we want to be able to put a shulker box up, so a dispenser should be able to do that for us, right? Put dispenser, grab our button. Cool. So essentially we want to put a shulker box up, then put a hopper in front and a block behind. Break it. Yeah, okay. Does it always do that? 2 for 2, I think that's good enough for now. But then if we dispense it, put a hopper, like a couple hoppers on top to like feed it. Okay. So that should be able to fill box, and now we need to figure out how to detect when the box is full, which I think is going to be the hard part. And then we just trigger the piston, put a delay on, and trigger the dispenser, and away we go. Okay, so if I do a full shulker box, we'll get like a 15th strength, but that's if we put everything in there. What if we just put like one thing into each slot? Will we get then? Because what I'm worried about is if we do like cobblestone. No, that doesn't work. Because if you mix the stones, like, you may not get a full stack of gravel, you know? Okay. Do we just put in like an item filter? Sort it for like gravel and stone beforehand? Because then once it's full, we can just make this path from here to here require 15. So here's what I've figured out. It's a little bigger than I'd like it, but it is as dense as I could get it to be. So essentially what happens if we grab our shulker box that's full, so you put it in, it'll detect, it'll break it, and then it will very quickly place a new one that is empty. So I think that would work. See, this one's empty, and the full one ended up in a hopper, which we can just put into a double chest or whatever we need to. I think this should work. We could set it up where we'll have our hoppers hopper like this, and then we'll run like a water stream just to like spit it out right here. So while we were building our shulker box loader, I had plenty of time to do some thinking. And part of that thinking led me to realize that we should probably do something with all of this rock. And we kind of need to build a mountain, put our mountain base in. So why don't we take our rocks from down here and push them up taller and make a mountain? Seems like a logical step. I tend to think that I'm pretty smart sometime, and this might be one of them, or I might hate myself. Either way, you guys get to watch this, so here we go. So I'm thinking that I've placed about as much stone as my little heart can stand to place at the moment. And so far, we've made a good dent on the mountain, I think. We've gotten it up to about like 150, 160, but we have a long ways to go. But the nice thing with mountains is, as they get taller, they get thinner. So it's actually not going to be as bad as I think it is. But I've also done a little bit extra to like bring it down here, and I'm going to be doing that a bunch more. But I am just so tired of placing stone. And I'm sure you guys are tired of watching me place stone. So why don't we switch it up? I've got a plan in the works, as the kids may say, that will require us to gather some special resources. And in particular, I'm thinking we might go to the end and go end busting for a little bit. Go track down some extra elytra, maybe some shulker boxes, you know, all the cool stuff. So why don't we make our way over to the end and go play for a little while, see what all we can bring back, and then maybe we'll get to actually working on my project, or we'll just see what happens. Holy heck! This looks a lot different than last time we were here. Oh, look at this. That's wild. This one. Boop. Rockets ready. Wings ready. Oh. I am, inside an end city already? Oh, never mind. So that is the thing about TitanCraft, is the end cities do periodically reset. That way we can have an infinite amount of elytra. Otherwise we would be sorely hurting for them, as players would grab them and then die or log off and lose them, or, you know, all the ways that people can lose elytra. Elytra! It's the first one. City! Ooh, big city. Okay. Start from the top. Or not. Looks like this one may have already been raided. Yep, definitely already raided. Okay, let's go down to the first floor. Make sure that it gets reset. Yeah, the one of the benefits and fun bits of their the cities resetting is you end up with some really weirdly built things. You know, I dare say that this is a pretty good haul. And looking at my number of rockets that I've got left, I think it's time to go home. I think this will probably last about 4 minutes in the shop, so we may have to do this later, but I am out of rockets and there's nothing else in my shop or in my chest to use, so let's go home and work on some of the other stuff that we got going on. So I do have a slight confession here. Remember earlier when we fought the Wither, and I said that somebody had gotten a bunch of Wither skulls? Well, that somebody was me, because early on I had found a nether fortress and teamed up with someone to build a simple Wither skeleton farm. And, well, now that I'm stocking up on goodie boxes, I think it's time to revisit that. See how effective it is. There's not a ton of people online, so it might actually work pretty okay-ish, depending on how many people are in the nether. But yeah, I put down like 30,000 slabs or something stupid like that early on, and we'll see what's been going on. I haven't been back here in a few weeks, and it's really far out in the boonies, but I think let's see how many Wither Skulls we can get, if any, and then we'll go from there. This is a post-production note coming through and realizing that my recording of me killing Wither Skeletons for a few hours did not actually record. So, narrator voice. They did slay many Wither Skeletons, and of course they got many Wither Skulls. So, we ended up with like 15 Wither Skulls. So, it's a good number of beacons, and I am going to include these in our goodie boxes. And so let's carry on from here, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. We did it. It took a long time, but I've got the entire mountain built, all the way to the peak. I will admit I did not build the top little bit of it. It had already been existing, but the rest of this I had gone done. It turns out that when you have a lot of stone underground and then you try and push it up, kind of what you end up with. So we've got that part done, and then over here is where we're looking at putting in our entrance gate. So this right here is dead center. So then we'll kind of recess it in, and then off to either side you can have started outlining a little bit more foothill, I guess. So just kind of help ease it up and connect it up to here. That will probably be a later project because I am very tired of placing rocks. I'm also very tired of digging. So I'm trying to figure out that do we have enough stock? Oh, I wonder what's over here. Do we have enough stock to go and build our shop in the shopping district for the underground? Hold off another little bit and try and get some more. Okay, so I think the obvious place to put the entrance into the underground would probably be below our shop somewhere. And I think there's plenty of space to do it. That'd be pretty obvious. Why don't we see if we can find another plot somewhere else maybe and see what we can put together. Rocket Turtle would be pretty cool to be nearer. Guessing this is taken. Yep. The cake is a lie. There is no cake. What cake? I feel like that sign is a lie, because there is no cake. Could do next to Mordor. Plot here with another mushroom. Maybe. I kind of want one that's like out of the way so people don't accidentally find it. You know, because what's the point of a secret shop if everybody can just, you know, find it super easy? There's no fun part of that. Is this cake a lie too? Huh? Huh? No signs over here saying it's a lie, so maybe it's an honest cake. Well, I think I've found a good plot, or good area, so why don't we go ahead and get our build on. I think for the security, because I know there are a few Titans that watch this, I'm gonna hold off showing you guys where I'm gonna build it, but we can check in once the shop is built, and you can see all of the stuff that I've got in store. Literally, in store. Okay, so our secret shop has been built. As you can see, inside of the main shop here, we have a chest for season passes to the underground. They cost 10 diamonds, and people just have to message me when they buy them. And there is a select few of them that exist. That is all that I am going to be making for the season. If anybody else wants one, tough luck, that's all there is. So it'll be a first come, first serve, and then once I have the season pass, everything inside of the chests are a lot cheaper than the market price. So I've got stuff like a Elytra, a whole bunch of logs, some wither skulls, pretty much all of the good stuff, apart from stuff that we sell here at the shop. So it should help people out. It's a one-time fee to get access to it, and it's a pretty sneaky shop, so I don't think we'll have too many people finding it other than the people that we tell where it is. So I think that is going to do it for me this week. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me again. As always, tell your pets that I love them very much, and I will catch you in the next video.